Ben, Carlos Correa is a twin.
He is. He's
He
not going to the Yankees, not going back to the Astros. The Trastros, as I like to call them now.
Yeah. Carlos Correa yesterday just randomly had in his mind, just nobody in the world had this thought, but only Carlos Correa just woke up and was just like,
Minnesota!
Woke up and he said, you know what? I think I want to go to the Twins.
I have no words, my guy.
Where did this come from? This has got to be the greatest cover-up. Like, not maybe cover-up's not the word, but the best kept secret ever, because he was never linked to Minnesota.
No.
Nobody.
Never.
Would you like to outline your theory of how you basically got the Yankees to pay for Carlos Correa to go to the Twins?
Yeah, I would love to. And we're live. If you want to leave a comment, we can post
We'd love
it
to
on
go
the
over the
screen.
comments.
Carlos Correa is a twin. But here's my outlandish, maybe not so outlandish conspiracy theory, because it might give a little too much credit to our front office, but here we go. So the Twins, they didn't do anything before the lockout. They did one thing. They signed Dylan Bundy, but that's not really a big move.
It's a solid move. It's a stability move.
Yeah. Anyways, so once we sign nobody, basically. Okay, whatever. So then
Nobody.
we start the offseason once the lockout is over with a bang. We're just like, okay, we're going to trade Mitch Garver, one of the best catchers and a beloved person on the team, and we're going to trade them for a shortstop, Isaiah Connor Falefa, and a reliever pitcher. And it's like, okay, interesting move. I get it. We need a shortstop, but an interesting move. So that means Ryan Jeffers is going to be put into a role.
Right.
And that signals that we're not going to be contenders this year, right?
Right.
Which is fine. You know, Buxton just signed an extension. We have a lot of good prospects up and coming, and we're going to try to make a push for 2023. That is my theory. But then we trade our 2021 first-round pitcher, Chase Petty, for Sonny Gray. And then it's like, okay, Sonny Gray, he's on a pretty – I mean, he's not expensive, but he's not cheap.
Right.
For a 2-year contract. But you don't trade your 2021 first-round draft pick if you don't think you're going to contend. So then people are like, okay, what next? So then we trade the shortstop that we just acquired, Josh Donaldson, and our backup catcher, I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
That's okay.
For Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. And we're like, what?
Okay.
And then we find out that the Yankees took all of Donaldson's contract, which that is huge because his contract, that's a good thing.
$50 million?
Yeah, $50 million left on for the next 2 years. So that frees that up. So then you're like, okay, something's coming. Something interesting is going to happen. But everyone in the Twins Minnesota organization was like, this is for Trevor Story. Like, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Right, that's who you're being linked to at the time, yeah.
It's like Trevor Story is a big, big name. I mean, no one in their right mind is like, Carlos Correa is going to come to Minnesota. And
nobody did.
Like, it makes this all more insane. So then, I mean, few days go by, no moves have happened. Nothing is happening. And we're just like, what is going on? So are we losing? If you lose out on Trevor Story, this is pretty much a failed offseason. Right. And
you just got the biggest fish.
What was it, like 1 a.m.? I see it.
Yeah.
I scroll through Twitter all the time just to get news notifications. Ever since I made a Minnesota Sports Now page, I've been just scrolling through information. I'm just like, all right, I got to post news, I got to do updates and all that stuff. So I just do it a lot when I'm bored. And then I see come across my timeline, Carlos Correa, the Twins, 3 years. And it's not even from it's not like Ken Rosenthal. It's not
local.
It's not local. It just I didn't recognize the name, but he had a check mark. So then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna
something.
I thought it was kind of BS. So
the irony.
And so I just did a little investigating. I clicked on it, get a blue check mark, and I'm like, okay, so this guy, he's like legit. He's followed by legit people, so he wouldn't just be trolling. But I kind of want to wait more to see if there's more. And then a trusted, I don't want to say he wasn't trusted, but Jeff Passan, I'd say he's more like
one of the guys that has been on all of the off season.
Yeah, if he tweets about it, then that means it's legit, unless he was hacked.
It's not getting punked by somebody.
Yeah. So then I'm like, oh my god, and I called like a few people. I texted everybody. I'm like, no way this actually happened. So in case you don't know, Carlos Correa is arguably the best shortstop in baseball. Arguably.
Yes. There are a lot of guys you can make the argument with, but he is a big fish. I think now this puts a lot of pressure. This is a lot of fun for me because I'm going to get to have a lot of fun with Correa being in the same division as the White Sox.
Yes. So you're welcome.
I used to make fun of the White Sox because they didn't have the best shortstop in the city. Now I can make fun of the White Sox because they don't have the best shortstop in their division. That's no disrespect to Tim Anderson. I like Tim Anderson as a player. He's electric. He's very fun to watch. Yeah. I've even tweeted like my favorite player for my team. I said Tim Anderson. So that's all love-hate relationship right there. It's just funny because Cubs White Sox beef. But I mean, to what you've said, I don't know how this happened. The moves, like it kept going back and forth, like, okay, the Twins are in sell mode. Oh my God, the Twins are making moves. Now they're in sell mode. Like, I didn't understand what was going on. I do believe that you fleeced the New York Yankees, and that's very fun to see because it's the New York Yankees who were the favorites to get Correa all along. You basically took him out for him and then signed their player. That was good. From a Cubs fan standpoint, what's that?
I said I was going to say we live in a world where Carlos Correa is the Twins starting shortstop and Isaiah Connor-Falefa is the Yankees shortstop. Like that would be flipped like a couple years ago. But anyways,
yes. I have two things from a Cubs fan standpoint. I am very concerned. We went from Javi Baez to Andrelton Simmons. I'm concerned about that because you let Andrelton Simmons walk, and then you proceeded to sign Carlos Correa to the highest infield AAV in MLB history. That scares me a lot. Is he good at defense at least? Like, that's what I keep seeing. Like, Twins fan to Cubs fan, tell me what I'm about to expect with Andrelton Simmons.
Have you looked at his stats?
I am terrified to look at them. I've seen them on Twitter, and I refuse to look them up for myself because I'm just going to piss myself off. 30 bats, 200?
It's not great. He was the most frustrating player to watch last year, and defensively, he's fine. He's lost a step since. I mean, he's not a Gold Glover anymore. But man, I hated him.
I can't wait to get Simmons this summer.
I mean, maybe he'll be better. I don't know. I don't know how much he could get worse, but he hit 3 home runs, I think, and batted like .218 or something.
Oh
I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was
screwed.
Yeah,
we are screwed.
Javi Baez to Andrelton Simmons, it's not good. Like that is a disaster. Not upgrade.
I hope Nico starts at shortstop. I really do. My second thing as a Cubs fan was this. I wasn't mad about Carlos Correa going to the Twins. I was mad about the contract because this whole offseason, that's all we heard was the Cubs were unwilling to pay Correa's the 10 wanted. Cubs didn't want to give Correa 300, 350, whatever he wanted. They just didn't want to do that. Yeah. And, after being burned by the Hayward deal back in 2016, I think it was 16 when we signed him, I understood that. I understood not wanting to give out long, big-term contracts like that anymore. I got that. But then I saw the deal, and it was 3 years, 105?
Yeah, 3 years, 105.3.
Yeah, because he's making 35.1 a year. And I thought, what the hell? Like, I thought that we were willing to offer him 6 or 7, but we were unwilling to go to 10. So to see him sign 3 years somewhere else, that makes me kind of upset with our front office.
Yeah.
I don't know how really much to say that otherwise, except that I'm just in Jed Hoyer and his front office right now. I'm sure the Yankees and Astros are saying the same thing, but man, I would just like to know the hows and the whys behind this.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I think everyone's confused.
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Baseball is weird.
Baseball is weird.
Baseball is so weird.
I just read a little bit of something Bob Nightingale tweeted about the contract. Correa has a limited no-trade clause in 22 and a full no-trade clause in 23 and 24. And it's 3 years, $5 million. Yep. So I'm curious when I'm trying to predict. Okay, is this contract going to be played out? My gut instinct says no, but it's not even the worst thing in the world if that doesn't happen. So let's say if he opts out, that means he had an amazing season because he could.
Right.
He's
going to try to go get 40.
Right. He thinks he can get paid more than 35 a year, which 35 million is
a lot.
Insane.
That's like I said earlier, it's the highest infielder annual average AAV in MLB history. So it's no joke.
Numbers.
I didn't see Minnesota paying that.
Minnesota. That's the best.
So good. Thank you, Mr. President.
So he would then have a really good year. I think he's like 6th in MVP odds or something like that for this year.
Probably.
And then if he opts out, our top prospect right now is Royce Lewis, and that's a shortstop, and he hasn't played baseball in 2 seasons. So he needs to, get experience, and what better experience than to see what Carlos Correa does in the clubhouse, and they can get that, leadership. And then I think you need to have Royce Lewis play in AAA all year since Carlos Correa is here. There's no reason to bring up Royce Lewis unless someone gets hurt or something. But
right. I mean, he wouldn't be bad depth either.
True, but he needs valuable reps right
That's
now.
Fair. So he'll be when the rosters get expanded in September, late August, he'll probably get called up then.
It's possible. He's had pretty terrible luck when it comes to. He had the 2020. They didn't have a season in minor leagues, so we crossed that one out. And then 2021, he tears his ACL, so he's out that season. So now it's like, okay, we need him to get up to speed. And all I'm thinking before we sign Correa, I'm like, do they really think that Royce Lewis is ready? Like,
well, here's my question with that, because I'm looking at your roster right now, and there's, in terms of second base, there's no guys that stand out to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but
he's good.
Ori Polanco, so he'll probably get the start then. He'll probably be the opening day second baseman. Yeah. Do you think that they pull something up to where they're going to bring Royce Lewis to second base to play, or do you think Polanco's going to hold it down the entire season?
Polanco will be there. He had an outstanding second half. I don't know if I don't know if you have his number. I think he.
I'm going to be completely honest. After the Cubs sold off last fall, I was done with baseball.
Yeah,
I had to lick my wounds from August on. I was done.
On-air production meeting. I'm pulling up Jorge Polanco's stats last year.
Mm-hmm. I am also looking at them at the moment. Thank you, internet. 269 slow. OPS 826. Very good.
Yeah, that's the main number you want to look at. So he switched
slugging. Wow, 503.
Yeah, he was a monster at the end of last year. He had 33 home runs.
He only missed 10 games. Wow.
Yeah, he had an injury with his foot in 2020, I believe.
Yes. Maybe. Oh, I see. He played 55 in 2020. That was the 60-game season.
Yeah, maybe it was in 2019. He had.
Was it 18? Because he only played 77.
It must have been.
Okay.
One of those years, and then he just never got right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he rehabbed it right or something. And then he was kind of dealing with it the entire season, and then his swing was off. And then last year at the second half, he figured it out and did something, and then he was just on a tear, even though the team was terrible. But I mean, this lineup is one of the best lineups in baseball. I mean, there's obviously the Dodgers, but Dodgers are the Dodgers. We don't have to worry about them in the AL, so I don't really count them. I mean, we need pitching. That's just bottom line. If we can get a pitcher, that's going to be huge. Ben is frozen. I don't know if he knows that, but pitching is a must-have, and we got a few options out there via trade because there are no options left on the free agent market. And Ben just texted me his Wi-Fi is out, which is fine. And now it's just me. So I'm going to end it. But Carlos Correa is a Twin. And we need pitching. That's basically what it comes down to. We need to see what Derek Falvey and Thad Levine are going to do. They need to make a trade. They need to make a trade for Montez or somebody else that maybe we don't see coming. Maybe they'll trade for, I don't know, Jacob deGrom. That would surprise me. But anyways, all right. Hope you all have a good Saturday. Hopefully they make a move. I've seen things about Daniil Hunter. I think Daniil Hunter is supposed to make a decision today. Oh, hey, Ben. I was just
I was gone.
Jesus. I think your mic is not connected. I think you're connected to your computer mic.
Oh, it switched me out because the Cubs hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did get my account back, so everything is okay. I am back.
Hang on.
Technology. What happened to Daniil Hunter?
Daniil Hunter is making a decision, or we're making a decision on Daniil Hunter today, and I'm just seeing things across my Twitter timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that Minnesota continues in talks with Oakland in their pursuit of Frankie Montes, which I feel like we desperately need to just pull that trigger. Do whatever they want. Whatever they want. Well, besides like Royce Lewis or whatever. But yeah. I mean, I don't even like. I love fantasizing about what the roster is going to look like.
Mm-hmm. That must be nice.
Sorry. Hey, that Suzuki guy. I hope he works out. Twins have never had good luck with Korean baseball. I don't know. He's from the Korean league, right?
He's from Japan. He played in Hiroshima.
Okay. So I hope he does well because his first press conference when he said, "Mike Trout, I love you." I'm like,
I want that on a shirt so bad.
Oh, that's gonna be easily on a shirt.
It has to be.
Unless Mike Trout like beats you in a big game or something, then
he's not gonna love him. But that is why 27 because of Mike Trout, which I think is incredible.
That is incredible.
want to say that I had a big part to do in Seiya Suzuki coming to Chicago. I don't think that it had anything to do with anybody else. I actually was flying into Chicago that morning, and I will find the tweet that I tweeted. I'll post it on the page. But I tweeted, getting on a plane to Chicago, it would be a real shame if the Cubs decided to sign someone. And I listed players, and Suzuki was the first player that I listed, and it was the Rocket Raccoon, the winking gif. And then, like, I on the plane, I'm somewhere over Tennessee because I've got the Wi-Fi hooked up to my phone. My phone starts going off. Like, oh my gosh! Like, I go, what happened? What happened? People are sending me screenshots. I'm like, it doesn't load. I'm 30,000 feet in the air. Tell me what it says.
Yeah. Oh,
you got Suzuki. He gives me Kosuke Fukudome vibes from 2008, and people dump on Kosuke Fukudome, but he wasn't a bad player. He just played on a bad team. And this is what this reminds me of. You know, the Cubs aren't a great team right now. It just feels like time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Which means in 8 years we'll play the World Series, so let's freaking go.
I mean, yeah.
If time is a flat circle, as long as it's not 108. I won't live to the next Cubs World Series then.
Well, on that note, I know you got to go.
Carlos Correa is a twin.
Carlos Correa is a twin. Let's do the.
Do you want to know? Carlos, who's the number one state in the country, Joe? Who is it?
Minnesota!
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Mr. President. We'd love to see it.
We did it, Joe.
Maybe we
Carlos Correa.
Live thing when something else happens. You got him. You got him.
Yeah.
We'll have to do MLB free agency podcast here in a couple weeks when we get closer to opening day. Still a few more big names still in the market, like Trevor Story.
If Matt ever wants to join the podcast again, then totally. Yeah.
Matt, stop working.
I think Trevor Story is going to be a Yankee. I've seen
probably
like or an Astro.
Now they have to appease the fan base, so
yeah.
Don't do that. Don't put that in the universe.
Yeah.
I'm just glad Houston lost. It's good to see Houston lose one.
I also know. Okay, this is the last thing. Carlos Correa's numbers at Target Field. Mm-hmm. I've heard insane.
Isn't he like a 1,200 OPS or something like that? Mm-hmm. This guy 1.200 OPS at Target Field. It's something stupid, crazy like that.
But to be fair, he's hitting off of Twins pitchers. So okay, there's that. But fair. It's still a good sign. Because Nelson Cruz was the same way when he came in. I wish he was on the team now. That would be just insane.
He probably does too now.
I mean, yeah. That would be
he probably does. He went to DC. They're not winning anything anytime. Phillies are juggernauts offensively. The Mets are going to be juggernauts. The Braves are going to be juggernauts.
Maybe they'll trade.
Be stupid.
In the trade deadline.
It could happen. Maybe. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. The Twins signed Carlos Correa.
Yeah, to ask me if I thought we were going to be about this on a Saturday while I'm on vacation. Things need to stop happening while I'm on vacation and March Madness is going on. Last weekend it was Tom Brady coming out of retirement. This weekend it's Carlos Correa going to Minnesota. Stop. I'm on vacation.
Okay.
It's okay. I live for it. I live for
it. All right. We're going to end this podcast for like the 10th time today. Hope everyone has a great Saturday. Ben, you have a great rest of your day.
I'm going to go drink beer and watch basketball. Anyone but Duke, baby. Anyone but Duke.
Duke's going to win. All right. Goodbye.